My family went on vacation this summer for a week. During that week, we had 5 days where we didn't spend any money. Not even a dime. In this video, I'm sharing how we did that, so stick around. If you're new here, I'm Samantha, creator of The Frugal Mom Life, where I share money-saving, frugal tips that have helped my family of 5 live a more meaningful and happier life. The biggest tip that helped us to not spend any money those days on vacation was we planned ahead. We took as much as we could with us, and we bought a lot of stuff ahead of time. To do this, you will need to anticipate your family's needs. Try to think of anything that you may need while on vacation. We took everything from extra toiletries, like shampoo and conditioner and body wash, and extra toothbrushes, as well as extra detergents like dish detergent and laundry soap. Depending on where you are staying, you may need to take more or less of these items. I like to have a little extra just in case, because we've stayed at some Airbnbs and they don't have things like dish detergent or laundry detergent, and I've had to go out and buy some. So instead, I like to take some extra with me. I've also started bringing some extra toilet paper and paper towels, as well as some extra trash bags. You should also consider the activities that your family will be doing while on vacation and align them with where you will be staying. For example, if you're staying at a place in the city, then you can take stuff like a basketball or some bubbles or some jump ropes, things that you can do at a local park if you visit one, as well as board games and puzzles and stuff to do while you're in the Airbnb or the hotel. This time we were staying at an Airbnb in the woods, and I knew ahead of time that it had a fire pit and a hot tub. So I planned to take stuff for s'mores as well as our bathing suits so that we had them for the hot tub. Other things you may want to take are a can opener, of course, most of the food that you will be eating. Depending on where you are staying, you may have more options of food items that you can take with you if you stay at an Airbnb rather than staying at a hotel. But if you are staying at a hotel, then you will also want to take some items to eat your food out of. I always take Tupperware dishes that include some bowls that we can stick in the microwave and then eat our food out of. I also usually take some plastic silverware and some paper plates if I have them on hand, as well as some extra storage bags. We also bought a lot of stuff ahead of time. I had started planning for the vacation about a week ahead of time and started putting stuff in my Walmart cart so that I didn't forget anything. And as things popped in my mind of, hey, maybe I should add some beans or some rice, or maybe we'll need some rice cups to make it a little easier to eat them at the hotel, I could just add those items to the Walmart cart as I thought of them. So a lot of our food and our snacks were purchased ahead of time because I had put those items in the cart, and then the day before we left for vacation, we went and picked up that order. Then we just had to do a grocery restock, which is in the middle of the week. We had to go grocery shopping to stock up on the things that we had ran out of. We've also always paid for the hotel or the Airbnb ahead of time. This way, those are already paid for and we don't have to worry about paying for them later on. You can also purchase tickets ahead of time if you plan on going to any amusement parks or zoos or seeing any other specific attractions like that while you're on vacation. You can purchase them ahead of time, and often you can get a discount by doing so. Additionally, you can buy gift cards for your vacation ahead of time. If you want to go out to eat at a restaurant, then you can purchase a gift card for that restaurant and then use it when you go on vacation. There are several apps that I use that give me money for things like taking surveys and submitting receipts, and sometimes I'll cash out those for gift cards, and that would be an excellent thing to do, is to save those gift cards for a vacation. Getting more in depth, we were on vacation from Sunday until the next Sunday, and our no spend days were Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday was a spend day. We did our grocery restock on that day, and we got ice for the cooler. We also got our gas that day as well. And then Thursday and Friday were no spend days as well. And Saturday we went out to eat. And Sunday we did some back to school shopping and headed home, and we got lunch on the way home as well. Friday was the day we left, and we ended up going to an amusement park that we had already bought the tickets for. And for that, we had made some sandwiches that we took with us. And we also had a cooler that we took the rest of our cold food in to take from the Airbnb to the hotel. We started out at an Airbnb from Sunday through Friday, and then Friday through Sunday we stayed at a hotel. Now, the original vacation was supposed to be just Sunday through Friday. That was the time span that I could get the Airbnb for. But we did end up extending our vacation to go from Thursday to Sunday as well. So a few extra days. And for those, I was not able to extend the stay at the Airbnb. Those days were not available. So we did have to switch to a hotel. The reason why we extended our stay was because I had learned that some friends that I had not seen in several years were staying on vacation just a little ways from where we were, and I wanted to meet up with them while they were on vacation. There were some other factors on why we extended our stay as well, like we had not gone to Hershey Park before, which is a little uncommon since we live in Pennsylvania. You would think we'd been there before. So I figured we'd go and check it out and see what all the fuss was about. So the three biggest expenses on vacation are food, housing, and entertainment. Looking at each of those individually, to reduce the cost of the food, I did mention that we took a lot of stuff with us. We purchased a lot ahead of time, and we replenished at a grocery store. So what did we eat while on vacation? Well, for breakfast, most of the days we had the same thing: eggs, sausage, toast, and oatmeal for breakfast. I also took some cereal and milk if the kids got tired of that breakfast. And the last day, we also made pancakes. For lunch and dinners, I took a variety of items, but the main thing you need to understand is when on vacation, we kind of splurge and get those convenient items that maybe aren't the healthiest for us. So while we may not eat the healthiest on vacation, we get to splurge and eat the stuff that we don't usually eat. So this is the time that I will purchase the ramen noodles and the hot dogs. And we did eat quite a bit of macaroni and cheese on that stay as well. So my husband and I did have rice and beans usually for lunch, and then we would all have dinner together. and the kids would have those more processed items for lunch. So that's what we had at the Airbnb. When we got to the hotel, we had things like canned soup and canned pastas, because those we can just open the can, pour in a bowl, microwave, and eat from the bowl. And we did have the hotel breakfast was free, so we ate that every morning while at the hotel. We took all of our drinks with us as well, so we didn't have to go out and buy any extra drinks. And we took any leftover snacks from the Airbnb. We did have some left over. We took those with us to the hotel. So how much did it cost us to eat on vacation? It cost me just a little bit more than it would have cost me if I had gone grocery shopping and gotten the food to make at home, with the exception of the convenience items, because I did get rice in a pouch for the hotel so that it was easier. And I don't usually buy canned pastas or canned soups. I usually make them myself. So for those items, the items that were purchased specifically for the hotel like that, they were a little more expensive, but definitely cheaper than going to a restaurant. And the other exception to the cost of our food was we had gone out to eat twice the Saturday and Sunday at the end of our stay. And then talking about housing, we stayed at an Airbnb for the first 5 nights, and then we stayed at a hotel for the last 2 nights. And those costs were paid for ahead of time. I feel like they were definitely worth the value. I'm not sure off the top of my head exactly what they cost, but I'll share the cost of that somewhere here once I do confirm what those costs actually were. And then for entertainment, we took a lot of stuff with us, like board games and puzzles. We did purchase 2 new puzzles and a new board game ahead of time. And then we did go to Hershey Park. Those tickets were purchased ahead of time as well. And I will put the price of those here also. I'm not sure exactly what we paid. I know it was a reduced price because we purchased them online. So the original cost of our vacation before we extended it versus the cost after we ended up extending it, I'll do the calculations and let you know what they are because I'm curious myself, and I will include it right here. So here is the breakdown of what our vacation actually cost us. And I actually debated on including any actual dollar amounts in this video, but not being completely honest and sharing how much our vacation actually costs us did not sit well with me. I started this channel to help you guys, and this is what I plan to do. I budget $2,000 each year for our week-long vacation, and this one came in a little over that budget, but I'm okay with that. I value giving my kids experiences, and I know not everyone is going to understand that and may say that I wasn't frugal for spending so much on our vacation, but this is what I planned for. We plan and prepare for vacations like this, and my goal is to help others like yourself plan for vacations like this as well. It is so freeing when you can go on vacation and not dread coming home with hundreds of dollars in credit card debt. And that is how we managed to spend no money on 5 days of our vacation. If you need a little help planning for your next vacation, you can start by downloading my free budget planner. It's totally free as well as being simple and easy to follow. It is the same way that I have successfully budgeted and planned for all of our vacations in the past, and I will leave the link for it down below.